Okay, so you're doing your exam and you're working through the questions in it, and you do a certain type of question where the outcome of the question is a kind of obvious answer and you don't get it. Okay, this is quite common in maths exam. They say prove that such and such equals such and such, or they'll ask you a question like show that the answer to this is less than 5. So at the end of it, you know that you have to get a certain value or you have to get a certain result. You're doing the problem and then you get to the end of it and you realise you haven't got that. What do you do in order to rectify that? How do you sort it out? Well, there's 2 ways you can go about doing it. One is not very good and one works most of the time. Okay, so let's start with the not very good one, which is what most people tend to do. And this is why you're going to have an advantage in the exam, because you're going to get the really good method in a moment. But this is what most people tend to do. Most people then go back through what they've written down and start checking each step along the way. Now, it's my experience over years and years and years of watching people do this sort of thing, that when you start checking back through what you've already written down, you end up not noticing the mistake you've made. You go on and you keep doing the same thing over and over again. Whatever little mistake it is you've made, you keep doing it. So you get to the end of it and you think, oh my goodness, I've got the same answer again. And then the panic begins to set in, because you begin to start believing that you just don't understand what you're doing. And that is the serious problem that you'll face if you use this method, because as soon as you start believing that you don't understand what you're doing, you've lost it. You won't be able to find where you've made a mistake, because instead of looking for a simple error, and believe me, most of the errors that occur in this sort of thing when you know how to do something are simple things like forgetting a negative sign, or you've added instead of multiplying, or something silly like that, just because you've been doing it in a rush because it's an exam. So it's those little simple things that are really what trip people up. But unfortunately, when you've checked through it and you're still not getting the right answer, this belief that you just don't know what you're doing is there inside your head, and it stops you seeing what the actual mistake is. Okay? So that's the wrong method. So what is the correct method? What is it that will work for you? Well, the correct method is to ignore what you've written down and to start again on a fresh piece of paper. Now, that might sound like, oh my God, I'm going to be wasting time because I've got all this stuff written down already and now I'm going to have to write it all down again. But believe me, it'll save you a huge amount of time, it'll save you a lot of panic, and you're much, much more likely to spot where you've made a mistake. Now, when you're doing it the second time, you know that you've made a mistake along the way, and you need to start saying to yourself, it's almost certainly a stupid error. You know, something silly, like I've mentioned already, like forgetting a negative sign, or dividing instead of multiplying, or any sort of little silly thing like that. Simple arithmetical error. So what you do when you're going through it the second time is you take time over each step and you say to yourself, right, I've done that there. Is it right? Is that the right thing to do? Once you've double checked that, you move on to the next step, and so on, until you get to the end of the problem, and I guarantee that probably 99 times out of 100 you'll get the right answer at that point. Now, that's my experience, and I've seen it happen over and over again with students. I used to, when I did a lot of tuition in small groups, I would get people to practice this method, and the revelation in people's faces when they realised that it actually worked for them was amazing. Now, you try that yourself before you get to do the exam. Don't leave these techniques, any other techniques you might see in other videos that you get on our site, don't leave them until the actual day of the exam. Practice them beforehand. So anytime you're doing a problem in your study and you've made a mistake, an obvious mistake, you know that something's wrong, don't try searching for the mistake, hunting for it. Use the method that I've suggested.